Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along. Monday evening, we've got some prototype trophy online championship action here on Le Mans Ultimate. It is round 3 of 4, and yeah, this should be an interesting one at the bumps of Sebring, a very characteristic circuit that used to be an old World War II airfield, now turned into a racetrack, and what a great flow and what a great circuit it is. Hopefully we will have a good race tonight, better than last week at Imola, which was a little bit messy. Made a couple of mistakes on my end, which cost us some valuable points. And yeah, there was also a missing qualifying session, which was a little bit odd. But we do have qualifying here this evening in this race, which is good to see. It seems like that issue has been sorted out, which is obviously always nice. But yeah, it should be a good one. We're driving a Ford Mustang GT3 car. It's a multi-class race. We've got LMP2s and the GT3s. Obviously, we're competing in the GT3 field. And hopefully, as I say, we can get ourselves a good, decent result. So we're just loaded into the server. Qualifying is starting to get underway shortly in about 2.5 minutes time. This is currently in the practice session at the moment. A few people heading out onto track and testing the car, testing the setup and all that sort of thing. But we're going to sit and hang tight for a moment, wait for a few more people to come in, and of course also wait for that qualifying session as well before heading out onto the track, because we've pretty much got everything good to go ready for the qualifying session, I think. So we're in split 1 of 3, which is interesting. Curious as to who else is here in this session of similar rating. There was one guy, Cavern Taylor, in a Lamborghini, who looked to be a higher rating than I did on the sign-up screen. But hopefully we can gain some good rating here this evening if we can have ourselves a good clean race. The car is a little bit sketchy in a couple of places, especially earlier on in the race. Once the temps come up to temperature, then the car becomes a lot more drivable, and it feels like it's relatively quick, although it's kind of hard to tell because I haven't really seen anyone else in practice sessions yet that kind of been on my pace. So I don't know whether that's just me practicing with other people who are a lower rating than I am and aren't quite as quick, or whether I have been doing very, very well in terms of pace in the car, and it is good, but we'll soon find out. Anyway, hope you're all good. Hope you had a good start to the week, and hope you had a good weekend. Let us know in chat what you've been up to as of late, as we'll be getting underway in about 40 odd seconds time. Tell you what, we might as well bring up the game now as well, just so you can see everything as we're sat here in the pit lane. We do have qualifying as our next session in a moment. Sounds pretty good with a few LMP2s blasting down the straight there in the left ear. So I'm doing a 206 on their outlap in the GT3s. So relatively good times, kind of in and around high 206, 207 on an outlap, providing everything goes well. But here we go. Swapping over now into that qualifying session. Make sure we've got the right tyres, the right amount of fuel, which we do. So let's go. Head out onto the track. It says the way a pit exit, but we've got quite a long trundle down to the pit exit line, so it should be all good. It should be green by the time we actually get down there. I'm going to increase my traction control slip to 10 and my TC up to 7, just for the first couple of laps until the tyres kind of come up to about 60 odd degrees C. Once they're there, we should have a fair bit more grip underneath them. The other thing is, I need to be relatively careful with the tyres. I don't want to take too much life out of them. because I'm going to be needing to use 2 of the tyres for the entirety of the race, and I could put 2 new fresh tyres on. So I'll probably go left sides only on the new tyre front. But yeah, going to take it real easy in these opening laps where I know that the temperatures aren't going to be there at all. So I'll do probably 2, maybe 3 laps of just trundling around. This one obviously being the first because we've crossed the start-finish line, which is an interesting factor here in this circuit, is that you do actually pit on the back straight rather than the start-finish straight. It's just the nature of the event, where on the same weekend they have the World Endurance Championship 1,000 kilometers of Sebring, and then on the following date they have the Sebring 12-hour for the IMSA Championship. And the IMSA uses the main pits on the start-finish straight, and then the World Endurance Championship pit lane. Entry is at turn 15 on the track map up in the top right-hand corner, and then you come out on that back straight between turn 16 and turn 17. So funnily enough, where we're coming up to now, here is the pit entry slip road. Goes off to the right there. And it's along this straight here. That is our pit lane. So it's encompassed within a lap, which is quite nice. It makes it a lot easier for working out people's out laps and all that sort of thing. Right. Continuing with the smooth and steadiness, trying to protect the tyres as much as possible. Only a couple of percent on tyre wear, which is good. We'll do one more build lap and then we shall push for a lap or 2. All in the name of trying to preserve the tyres on that right hand side. So this circuit, although pretty much dead flat with there being barely any undulation around it, other than the bumps on the circuit itself, has a really nice flow to it. It's really good for multi-class racing as well. A little bit technical in a couple of places, like that last corner that we've just been through there. Quite a tricky corner because you want to push into it, but it tightens up quite sharply on the exit, and therefore you very quickly find yourself running out of road. And in this section here, where you're on the concrete along this back straight into the final turn and then through turn 1, the bumps are very characteristic in their nature. It makes this track pretty iconic. It's a big bump midway through the corner, which you feel a lot more when you're a bit tighter in. Right, we've still got very good tyre wear at the moment. Let's start to push a little bit more. At the moment, not going full attack. Here we go. 6 hours at Sebring's harder on these cars than 24 hours of Le Mans IRL. Yeah, not surprised me with the bumps. It's an engineer's nightmare, this one. Le Mans, although bumpy, because obviously quite a lot of it is public road, it's relatively smooth in comparison. And obviously the cars are just running kind of nice long straights for periods of time, so although the car is obviously being strained running up slightly higher stress levels, it's not as stop-starty and heavy braking and as much G-force being exerted on the cars for quite as often as a shorter circuit with a lot more corners, such as Sebring. Okay, let's go and turn the TC back down again. 659 is what we're going to be running. Gear ourselves up now for a proper lap. A little bit scruffy there. That first sector. And a bit of oversteer. A little bit deep there. Oh, a bit messy with the exit. Other people are improving on their times as well. If we can hold on to these 4 temps, we will go. Oh, nice tight line. We've got room for one more. A little bit deep though. Tell you what, seeing that other people were in the pit lane, I'm going to bail and preserve the tyres as well. 95-96% on the front left, starting from pole position at the moment, so fingers crossed we hold on to that. That'll be a very, very good start if we can. Right, I'm going to very quickly put to the loop, so be right back a second. Alright, we are back. And we're still in pole. Magic. Alright. Double check that everything's all good. Should be.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Okay. So this is the setup that I'm running. And I shall be uploading it as well later on to ultimatesetuphub.com. So make sure to check out their website there, because there are plenty of free setups that people are uploading onto that site, including the ones that I run in these races, both in this online championship, the Prototype Trophy, as well as the WEC Experience Multi-Class Masters, the ones that I've done in the past. Basically all the setups that I tend to use I upload onto that website, so make sure you check out that. As I said, we shall go new tyres on left side only. This should be fun. Seven, 8. I just got 0.79 just to be sure, just to be safe. Everything looks all good there. Go ahead and plop ourselves onto the grid. We shall turn TC up, much like we did last time. In the quali laps, 0.79, no change of tyres, and I want 57%. Thank you very much, Denugget, for the well wishes. Hopefully all things go good. We get a nice clean start. It's nice that we're starting here on the inside. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Formation lap has started.
Turn the light on. Here are all the LMP2s. Alright, turn the music off. Get ourselves ready now for the start of this race. Holding speed. Just need a good reaction to the green light.
Green flag, green flag.
There it is. Window 8. BMW's got a slightly better jump, but I'm going to send it around the outside to make that one work. Oh god, LMP2s. And being hit on the rear by GT3 behind. So we've got some damage on the rear, which isn't ideal, but we've held on to the leading class, which is good. Just need to try and pull away. Nice and smoothly does it. Indeed, crikey, an eventful start. BMW's coming for us. Just take it nice and steady. Bring the temperatures up in the tyres. Don't really push them too hard and take too much life out of them at this early stage. BMW behind's got an interesting strategy in terms of their NRG usage. They've gone for a much lower amount in the first stint, so I think they'll be going for an early stop. It's my stint calculator saying that we'll be going 22 laps. As it's saying down in the bottom right hand corner at the moment. And obviously they'll be going a lot less than that. So they might be starting on less fuel and less energy here in this first stint to try and take advantage of that, but obviously they're going to be going onto a heavier fuel load much earlier on than we will, and we'll have an advantage later on of some lap running on that lower fuel load. Nope, that's the one. Don't want to be reducing the cut. That's not needed. Either it's that little bit of oversteer that we had there. Thankfully we held on to that quite nicely. Yellow flag up ahead. There it is. Where are they going? Oh my god, of course P2 wasn't paying any sort of attention, were they? Fuck's sake, mate. How dumb was all that? Well, thankfully, somehow, we have no damage to the suspension. It's just front and rear bodywork damage. But yeah, I really wish people would look further than the end of their nose. Well, this race has very much changed in terms of its entire dynamic. It's no longer play it safe, it's now drive annoyed and try and catch up and recover. Yeah. Good thing is, there's plenty of places to overtake around this circuit. P1 seems to be losing a lot of time. Nope, no, not. That was just a timing glitch coming through this section. So they're 11 seconds up the road. There's one. Well, at the moment, it seems like the car isn't too badly damaged. This doesn't feel like it. Lucky that it's still got a rear wing. Seems like there's still some pace in the car. So that happened on lap 3 or 4. Hey Graham, you've just missed an absolute dramatic moment. Indeed. In the lead as well. So now we're trying to catch back up. Oh, that's deep. Way too deep. Yeah, it cost us quite a bit of time, that. We're 4.9. But gained a couple of attempts on P1 that time. And obviously everyone in front of us. I'll try and figure out a way past these guys fairly quickly. Hopefully, at the same time, don't get kicked over by the LMP2s coming through. Trying to keep this blind open as much as possible, just to try and get as much air in as we can. Another freebie. Oh, it's been sensible. Thank you very much. I'm trying to put up any sort of fight, knowing that we are much quicker and frustrated. I'm trying not to be, but obviously I can't help but be frustrated over that incident. Just trying to stay relatively calm, cool and level-headed, just to not make more mistakes. Hey Miko, thank you very much. Cheers for the well wishes. Certainly going to need them from this point. Yeah, I don't think it did. Indeed, Wusa. I'm the wrong person for the blue flag, but I'll take the freebie. It's good with me. Taylor's now into the lead. He's probably the highest rated GT3 driver in the lobby, so he might have some pace. Which is what I was fearing when I was in the lead. Someone kind of working their way through the field and threatening the race win. we can get past this Aston fairly quick, that would be great. Hey, door. There we go. Hello, Jason. Alright, back into flow. Oh, deep. Indeed, Miko, it is good. Yeah, Taylor's got pace 2037 on that previous lap. So, I think race win is out of the question. It's just whether I can get back to PT. I haven't done much driving on the Lambo, no. It does seem pretty good at some tracks, that's for sure. Would have liked to have been able to go full throttle and stay there. Didn't quite work. Go inside, please. The Nugget, they change... Yeah, Tuesdays. Mods class on this track is fun. It's just LMP2s are scary. Quick has got a bit of pace about them when they aren't making mistakes and able to pick everything up. Don't go outside. For fuck's sake. Yeah, all day long you're getting your nose cut off there. We got pretty unlucky with the traffic on that that lap. I'm hoping he's picking up track limits for that corner there. Can't remember what it's quite called. Really unlucky with traffic on that lap. Catching us in all the worst places. Oh, clocking up. Go on, go down the inside of him. Wish he didn't. I wanted that LMP2 to try and go down the inside of P6 because that would have freed up the space for us to slot ourselves and get our nose in there as well. Try and make an opportunity, but the LMP2 wanted to play a lot more conservative. That one was also definitely over. For sure. Yeah, you can take quite a bit on the inside there. I just don't know if you can actually get away with the amount that he's taken without getting track limits warnings. And if he has been getting them, how much he's actually got. Ah, there's an LMP2 behind us as well. Yes, of course. I knew I should have just slid in behind rather than tried to make or maintain some sort of semblance of speed. Might have a bit of a run here, but the BMW does seem to have good straight line speed. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we got quite a bit more damage. Okay, I think he might have been letting us go there. It's nice if he was. I want safety car map. That was a save. Thank you. Oh, I'm breaking myself a little bit there. Not the worst. Oh, deep. Why are you so deep? Catching P3, I think. Taking a BMW line. All nines, okay. So I reckon we could probably do low fours if we don't make any mistakes. Get that concentration and focus back, which would be nice because that'd be a good half a second quicker than all those in front except P1. So they're quite consistent. Low to mid fours, it looks like. Slipstream, please. Thank you. Oh, that little wheel there did not want. Of course, everyone else starts doing mid to low falls as well. Very typical. Okay, new question. Can they keep that sort of pace up? E2 did a 2:03.8 on that lap. Mid 4, mid to high 4, mid to high 4. Quite nice to not really lose any time there to that LMP2. Or with that LMP2, shall I say. consistency as the Yorkie, yeah. Just trying to keep banging in these laps, trying to nip away at the gaps to the cars in front. Please don't do it. That's how you communicate. Do not dive bomb me. And P2 read that nicely and stayed behind. Didn't trouble us into that corner. So we would have lost time if we were going side by side. Both of us would have. And sure, whilst we may have lost time if compared to if the track was completely clear, we probably lost less time sitting behind like we did. Definitely closing in on this Ferrari now. The guy who was in P3 has also pitted. Quickly find a way past this Ferrari, that'll be absolutely grand. So I don't want to be losing time fighting and battling with them. So we'll try and gear ourselves up for a run into the final corner. If we can. Stay by them through there. That works nicely for us. And up the apex a little bit better there, but half a second, not really close enough. Didn't need that bit of oversteer there. That cost us big time. quite a bit of pace in the car now that the fuel load is bled off. Bit messy there. Yeah, we got the pace. Oh, sorry, trying to give you room. Opportunistic move. I think we managed to do it without contact. And that was pretty vital as well. Getting that position, not going to be held up going into the pit lane. Alright, 12 laps. No change, don't repair the car. I think we're all good to go. Just have a little bit of a buffer. In 21 seconds worth of virtual energy. Oy, oy, oy. Fluids on board. There we go. Might have a tad bit too much, but I'd rather be a little bit safe than sorry. There we go. Back out. Just ahead of Clay. Come on, tyres. Up to temp. So much understeer there now. Strategy's worked out well. I was hoping for P4, I was not expecting P3. we've effectively gained 3 positions in and around the pit stops. So that's worked out really nicely for us. Lexus behind us want to apply a fair amount of pressure. Alright, 7 seconds to P2. Let's get hunting. Tenth from that lap. Oh, LMP2 spinning behind. That held up the next quite nicely for us. Don't go inside. Oh, don't sit there either. Where are you going, mate? The fuck was all that? Yep, Lima taking his own lines. Giving the circuit a bit of a redesign. Very dirty there. I brake too late there. Oh, here comes the squad of 3 LMP2s. Saw in the rear view mirror, in fact 4. Looking at the track map. And they are looking feisty. Very feisty. Thankfully the Lexus behind also got held up somewhere along the line and it's given us a bit of a breathing room. Lexus got bumped. That's a shame. Was that in the final corner? Because I think I saw that. If not, I didn't see start, finish straight, or turn 1. Final corner. Gotcha. I fiddle with the preload on my brake pedal with a little spongy there. Ah. Yeah, I kind of saw it in the rearview mirror. He's been kind of lunging into this final turn quite a bit. It takes an awful lot of speed on entry. But he's slower out the exit because of it. Pardon me, I'm sorry. Disgusting. Losing so much time to the P2. Don't think it's going to be possible unless they make a substantial mistake. No, no, no. Some nice time taken out of P1 and P2 on that lap, but looks like it's going to be a little bit too late. And obviously it was aided by LMP2s coming through. piss off. So aggressive with these V2s coming through. It's just, I don't want them dive-bombing me in certain places. Not when they're that far back. Hello, Rick. How's it going, buddy? Nice. Where's the first race? Ah, round 3. Nice. Okay, where is the race then? Moza, nice. We're pulling away from P4 quite nicely, it's just we're not able to do anything about P1 or P2 up in front. Deep. You're right, Miko. The multi-class aspect keeps it interesting. rules for multi-class, staying on the racing line. So yeah, the slower class cars are advised to hold their line as best they can. The only time they should really give it up is if a car is like physically alongside or drawing alongside, coming into a corner. It's the responsibility of the faster class cars to pass safely. That way, it makes the slower class more predictable, and the faster cars can figure out where they're going to be at what time and plan their moves accordingly. That is basically the key fundamental rule of multi-class racing. You're not meant to deviate from the line even when getting blue flags. The blue flags are just kind of an advisory warning that there is a faster car approaching. So it's typically more a blue flag with a yellow diagonal stripe through it. So it's not like in F1 where you get given a blue flag, you're gonna pull over within 3 marshal posts and let that car that's lapping you through. It doesn't work like that in multi-class. And even when it comes to the same class, the car being lapped doesn't have to move out of the way if they don't want to. Obviously, they can't heavily, actively defend. They can a little bit if they feel like they do have the pace over, say, the race leader coming through and want to pull away, or they are desperate to stay on that lead lap. Then they can kind of show that they don't want to allow the leader through by positioning themselves in such a way whenever the leader gets close, but they can't like race wheel to wheel, as it were. If a leader does like go to make a move to put a lap on that car, they do kind of have to give it up. But they are free to unlap themselves as well, and providing that they show the pace to pull away, they won't get blue flags or be told by race control to let the faster car or the lapping car through. So yeah, it does work a little bit different to F1 in that regard. Oh, leaders across the line. No point in doing any heroics coming through the final corner one last time. And across the line with a lap more than I actually needed, but there we go. Yeah. What was that lap 3 all about? And thank you, Jason. That was a good comeback. We'll take a look at that incident in yeah, I'm happy to get back up into up in the P3, but that should have been a race win. Felt like I had the pace for that. And obviously the tyre. The damage on the car was a lot. Yeah, then yeah, a lot of people aren't happy. Who's Faraday? Is Faraday in? LMP2? No. Yeah, BMW hit me. Right, okay. A lot of people had a bit of a go at him, didn't they? No tyres there. Fonseca. Boss. Yeah, Boston finished. Gago. Yeah, one of the BMWs complaining about the rejoin. Two flag, that's rookies. Yeah. There we go, shameless plug. Right, let's go and take a look at what actually happened with the incident and the start in general, because the start was mental, to say the least. I do feel like the BMWs had a slight edge in terms of straight line speed over me. Well, at least we gained plenty of rating. Better qualify. Really? Okay. Should have. I know. Reach contact with a move. That was probably the ground somewhere along the line. And then 4 hits with Faraday. Blimey. I did get tapped twice on the rear on the opening lap, and then the hits in the incident. But like, our pace was good. It was pretty consistent. I reckon we could have held on to that. Taylor started 5th, Porsche started 7th. What did they do? 3.2, 3.6. So whilst they were quicker in the race by 3/10. Obviously, if I didn't have damage, probably wouldn't have been quicker because I did my fastest lap when I had damage. Anyway. It was a fun race and a fun recovery. To get back to where I was, that was for sure. But let's go and take a look at the replay. And yeah, Thor, you're in for a treat, mate. I'm umming and ahhing as to whether to process the LMP2 and maybe Faraday. I don't know. We'll see if Faraday has a relatively clear line of sight. Obviously, hindsight is definitely a thing, and when you look at incidents after they've happened, it's very easy to look at it from a point of view. You know what's happening up ahead. So like if there's a spin or an incident, you know that there's a car up ahead. You're obviously going to be looking out for it in the replay when looking back on it, and obviously the driver may not be looking in that area. They may be checking a relative, doing a little bit of strategy, maybe looking at the car directly in front of them. Maybe their vision was slightly blocked, sort of thing. It's a little bit different looking back on an incident after it happened compared to being there in the moment, because you may spot the incident unfolding a lot earlier than what the driver may have there and then in the moment. If you get me. That should make sense in and amongst the waffle. So I'm having to guess that their view of that LMP2 was blocked by me because the LMP2 was moving around. It wasn't completely stationary. Alright, I'll do it from this perspective. So yeah, starting P1, which was a nice change. Yeah, the prototype should have been paying attention to the relative. That's the biggest crime there. So yeah, the BMW got a pretty good jump. LMP2's doing LMP2 things. So there was one hit. There's another. That was probably a third. So that was a fair amount of damage there. It didn't really affect the car though. The handling, it didn't feel like. Car felt good still. No. Not as far as I know. It's not a name that I recognise. So this might be the start of something. I tend not to beef with people and hold grudges. There's the Lexus. See, even the Porsche's like way back. As is Cavern as well. I'm going to go back with Faraday though and kind of see from his perspective. Because he did get a good start as we saw. Or at least reaction to the lights. So yeah, they're on limited 2. I think it might just have a little bit better get up and go than what we've got. They had a bit more better vision coming through that corner than we did. Obviously being tighter to the inside, but that one I could forgive. That one less so. So with this one here, right, obviously I'm kind of bunched up and having to read the cars in front. Yeah, he's constantly on and off the brakes, and I reckon he's trying to not let this LMP2 come up alongside. Because, yeah, it's just driven straight to the apex despite the LMP2 being there. That's kind of just more a convergence of lines, I think. I know he is pointing to basically completely shut off the ball to that LMP2. Okay, we got a bit more of a nicer vertical view there just by pressing the button to save a clip. Oh, we clipped that inside wall. Yes, we did. So it's quite amusing watching my car going around, sparking the front splitter in various different places. I am running suspension white soft, just because it does work better, but it does mean that the front splitter is rounding out, as you can see in a couple of places, kicking up sparks. There's the incident. Yeah, so he's made real no attempt to like slow down for the yellow flag. The problem I had when I'm coming into approach here, I can see obviously the car is parked there. Then I see it move forward and all of a sudden it's stopped on the apex. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to go around the outside of said car. Then all of a sudden it moves back. But obviously I've slowed to give myself time to react to what this LMP2 is doing and trying to figure out the best way around it. Because I can see it moving about. And then, yeah. And now it's close to that BMW, and then that was annoying but amusing. So, what actually happened here? Sticking his nose in a fairly stupid place. So I can tell after this hit, yeah, the steering's way off, which is why he ended up going back across. So he probably thinks that his steering wheel is holding his steering wheel straight, but he's actually got 360° of lock on, hence why he's turned right here. He suddenly realised what's going on. He should have just reversed. Yeah. That was just 70 shades of dumb. It does make me laugh that out of LMP2, but I don't know why he parked it there, and then why move it around when you've got cars coming? Pay attention to your relatives, people. Also, run the fucking radar. I know it's not realistic, but the amount of situational awareness it gives you is life-saving in so many situations. So I think there's barely any attempt at all from Faraday to slow down. I feel like even the other cars behind, like, I think Gago's slowed. Oh, he's certainly slowed more, that's for sure, because he's dropped down into second. Yeah. Well, that was, yeah. The thing that really screwed my race there. Let's see if Faraday had any other fun. Looks like they have. Yeah, you don't usually see it in online championship races, which is why I like racing here. Because it is a hell of a lot better than the dailies. I'm guessing these just had a wiggle coming out the exit of the corner. Yes, very well held. Good save. It was unfortunate, obviously it cost him quite a bit of time. Here we are. Looking a bit battered and bruised. The front looks alright, to be fair. There's a little bit of damage on the front right. But yeah, there's a lot of damage on the rear. And the car just felt really good. Like in qualifying, it felt really nice. It felt like there was probably another 10th or 2 in it as well. But I actually managed to hook up the lap. But yeah, the damage model looks relatively basic. So yeah, this is where I started catching people. Thankfully for me, the Lambo let us go. So that was nice. Porsche also didn't really fight the move into that final corner. nor did the Aston. Although this was a hold a tight line, ease off the brakes, and then lose this from front. We've had good pace, it was just a little inconsistent and annoyingly more straight line speed than I had. And after that it was up and down the Ferrari. And we had a good little battle. Which was nicely helped by this LMP2, which I think was the leader of LMP2. Them going down the inside there gave us a nice opportunity to place the car down the inside, and then we just got quite a lot of understeer there, which was really unfortunate. I wanted to give him room. That was all nice and fair. And yeah, Kelsey was very forgiving. Yeah, it was just me carrying it a little bit too much speed in, and then as you can see, got quite a lot of steering lock on. I'm just like, it's absolutely crank on the lock, staying off the throttle until I know that I'm going to be given just about enough room on the outside. But I think by that point, Kelsey was unfortunately already pretty much being run out of room. Yeah, then we managed to get the jump on the other guys. So what happened with all that? So here he's third. Did he just have a slow pit entry and a longer stop? It's funny that my save clip button actually adjusts the camera angle, although a little bit deep there. That would have cost them some time, and then yes, very conservative on the entry. So they weren't massively far ahead. So we're fifth at this point, fourth, yeah. It's one of the other cars had to refuel quite a bit more, so we did gain basically one spot in the pit stop. Who's this coming past here? Okay, so what happened to Faraday then? So yeah, we gained a lot of time on pit entry. Go. Did Whip do the same thing as us? Yes, it did. Okay, right. I'm just going to. Faraday had the much earlier stop, didn't they? P3. P9. Whatever reason, they took a lot less energy in that first stint, so they pitted much earlier. Looks like I may have overshot that box a little bit. Actually cut as much as the inside as you can. And the pit entry wasn't too bad. I don't think they actually reversed into their spot. I think they just got dragged back by the system, which if they did, they didn't lose any time with that. Yeah, they just got dragged back. Oh, that be that. Yeah. A little frustrating with what could have been. That should have been a race win, I think. And in my eyes, I think we had the pace for the race win there. But unfortunately, the incident on lap 3 said that we don't get race win. But nonetheless, it was a good recovery. Fairly happy with that. It would have been nice to have got on P2, but such was the pace of the Porsche and the Lamborghini up in front. They obviously consolidated on their positions quite nicely. Either way, we will be back again Thursday evening with the WEC experience. It's going to be the final round of the championship at Circuit de la Sarve, which will be nice. I hope it's the version with the chicanes and not the all straight. Hasn't been over yet. Going to very quickly load in and see. Of course, it's the version with the straights, no chicanes, that we're loading in. It's not like we've done it like 3 or 4 times the last bunch of times on in the online championships, which is a little bit annoying. I'm hoping that the BOP is much better this time around, because when we did it with the Alpine last time, we were a good like 6 kilometers an hour on the straight slower than the other cars without draft, and then when it came to draft, they were like another 10-11 kilometers an hour quicker on the straights. And when you're basically flat out for like a minute on that straight, it really amplifies quite a bit. But because we're in the Porsche, we should have a bit more straight line speed this time. At least that's what I'm hoping. And it's going to be a mixed conditions race as well with some rain. Seeing that as well. Wow, that's going to be fun. So yeah, make sure you tune in on Thursday for that. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you gave tonight's race a like, that would be very much appreciated, especially if you enjoyed it and enjoyed the comeback. But yeah, I hope that you have a good rest of the week. And until Thursday evening, have fun, stay safe, take care.